Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities Tarot. My name's Rochelle, and I'm doing a collective reading today. This is going to be a you versus them reading. This can be anybody in your life who is most front and center. Friend, family member, lover, next door neighbor, coworker. Apply it as it fits. My phone. Here we go. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, okay, so to begin, let me start. I'm gonna pick a couple of angel cards. I want one for you and one for this person. You have vulnerability, number 13. They have power, number 17. Okay. Leave those there for now. Vulnerability and power. All right. So let's see. Okay. I'm going to start with the Voyager Tarot. How do you see yourself? Let's get a gauge on your energy and how you see yourself. We've got the Seven of Crystals. Dullness came out in reverse. The opposite of dull. You're very exciting. You see yourself as pretty dang interesting. I like that. Let's see. We've got Guardian, Woman of Crystals. This also came out in reverse. And Hermit, Virgo energy. You might have strong Virgo placements. You might also have some prominent air placements, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But you're focused on yourself because we have Guardian in reverse here. You're like, I'm either not interested in being responsible for anyone or showing anyone the way, or I just it's not where my attention is right now, or something. Like, your attention is very much on yourself, on doing some kind of inner excavation, focusing on what's important to you, learning your lessons, gaining the wisdom from experiences you've had. And this is all kind of tied to this vulnerability. You're tapping into a part of yourself that you're either doing a deeper dive than you've done before, or this is kind of all new, where you're like, I really need to get in touch with my vulnerability, because there's something in that is, it's like a little Easter egg, a little gift, a little treasure of some kind. Okay, so so then this person, gonna go with the Oracle Tarot. How does this person see themselves? We've got the Seven of Swords, ego and internal politics. Okay. Well, if they're an egomaniac, at least they're aware of being that way. Six of Cups, reflection. Oh boy. Three of Swords, unexpected revelation. This person is, they're having some kind of ego death. Something has happened here with this ego situation, with their ego, with internal politics, that is causing them to reflect, because they're realizing that either they have broken someone else's heart. There's been some revelation about what they have done. Maybe it was unconscious, or they just didn't know at the time, or this is something that has happened to them. Like through looking through their past, both of you are doing kind of a deep dive here. And I feel like because they have power, they're looking at the ways in which they've wielded power. Control over others versus control over the self. And that speaks to me of this person being in their ego because they originally were hurt. I feel like this unexpected revelation could be maybe they discover something from their past, or they have some kind of realization about their past. Maybe somebody who has hurt them. It could be like a childhood wound, a mother wound, father wound, something like this, which has caused them to become arrogant as a form of self-protection. And now they're like, oh my God, what have I done? I've misused my own power as a way to protect myself, but now I've hurt others in the same way I was hurt. So they're having a kind of, the word comeuppance comes to mind. I never use that word. Maybe they do. So how do they see you? Let me go with the Guardian Tarot. My creepy tree friends. How does this person see the viewer? Ace of Swords. They see you as having a lot of clarity. Well, let's see. 10 of Wands. Fool. Aries energy. You've stepped into your truth. You see the truth. You figured out a truth. Some kind of clarity about a burden you were carrying and how you're releasing that burden and heading in a new direction. You're taking some kind of leap of faith here. And it's so interesting because it's like you're kind of doing your own thing, but you are being witnessed here. And all these figures, it could be where they're all excited for you as you go off in your own direction. You're heading that way, they're back here. But it could also be where they're like, wait, where are you going? No, don't leave us behind. But you're like, because of your clarity, because of you living in your own truth, acting on your own truth, you're like, I'm not carrying this burden anymore. The cycle is done. It's time for something new. This is how they're seeing you. So how do you see this person? Let me go with the Tarot of Transcendence. How do you see this person? Ace of Cups in reverse. If at one time they were a sort of wish fulfillment, if there was love, there's not love there anymore. This was something that died before it started. Or, yeah. 2 of Wands. Because this person chose something else, someone else. 4 of Swords in reverse. I think you feel like they lack the ability to reflect, even though that's actually, well, it's either what they're doing or it's what they think they are doing, because that's how they see themselves, is in the process of reflecting. You don't think they have that ability. It's like, or to see, they ended something here with you to go off in another direction. This guy is carrying a compass. It's like they were calibrated for something else or some other destination. And rather than taking the time to heal, to rest from something that ended, they immediately set off in a new direction rather than allowing themselves to process. This is a part of the ego and internal politics. And that's what they're reflecting on. I feel like they're reflecting on the fact that they broke their own heart by breaking yours. It's like they never even gave this a chance because something shiny caught their attention. And I kind of get the impression this is kind of their MO. They never quite settle. It's like, okay, this is really exciting. Building. Okay, I'm leaving before it gets bad or before it gets crazier. You know, they have some kind of weird thing about thinking the grass is always greener because they're afraid if they stay, and stick around long enough, it's going to end up, I don't know. It's almost like they're afraid of something actually working out, because then they would actually have to show up. they're not used to showing up. They're used to just kind of flitting about and doing whatever they want and manipulating, deceiving, like whatever. Like there's sneaky behavior tied to this person. Okay, so yeah, so you're like, well, I'm not going to wait around for someone who clearly doesn't want to put the effort into me. So let's look at your intentions. Let me try the Moonology deck. What are the viewers' intentions? Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. You're really trying to be humble. That's a part of getting in touch with your vulnerability, I think, or becoming more vulnerable, is just recognizing that you did play a part in this. That's a part of how you're gaining this wisdom, is you're taking ownership of your part of things. And you're recognizing that your pride might have got you involved in this dynamic in the first place. And then we have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. You're creating your own luck. I mean, technically speaking, that's what happens. Luck. I personally don't believe in coincidence. I don't, luck implies it's something random. I feel like luck is actually tied to, it's tied to manifestation and intention setting, and being in a higher vibration. And it might feel like luck because sometimes it is kind of random, but it's because of you doing the work. So anyway, communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So you are focusing on how you communicate, what you communicate, possibly changing your communication style. You are intentionally changing your fortune, your, I'll use luck to make this more clear, but it's like, yeah, you're turning your luck around, where you might, especially dealing with this person where it felt very unlucky, right? Now you're seeing like, okay, I have control over my life and my actions, so what can I do? Feels, a little bit like the magician energy. And communicating, especially with communication here. Like I did say that you might have some prominent air placements in your chart, which, communication is very important to you. It's just how do you communicate? Again, what do you communicate? So that's your intention. And maybe this is about, I don't know. This could have to do with you talking to this person. It's not just a general kind of thing, but it's like really needing to address the elephant in the room, possibly, because of the clarity that you're getting. So what are this person's intentions? All right, I'm going to go with the light seers, right? So no, that's not what I want. I'm going to go with the guides of the hidden realms. Yes, that's what I want. Intentions. What are this person's intentions? The dream of co-creation, manifestation, divine partnership, frequency alignment. So, even though you feel like this person is not capable of reflection and change, to some extent, they are actually thinking about how to co-create with you. They're changing their frequency because they want to, it's like they see how you're elevating and they want to follow that. They also want to elevate, and maybe they're having some kind of, it's like a dark night of the soul, some kind of spiritual awakening, which can be very, very intense. Usually because it's the ego death that leads to the growth, the spiritual growth, the expansion of the soul in a way. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I think it's becoming more aligned with the soul, with your higher self even. So that's what's happening with this person. That's at least what they're intending. They have some kind of awareness, which is good. And then we have Order in the Forest, and that was 26. Order in the Forest, cleansing, releasing resentments, making amends. Number 11. They want to make amends. They're in the process of cleaning up themselves, their lives. They're reflecting, they're grieving, they're releasing resentments that had kept them stuck. This person is actually doing some work. To some extent. What is holy, what is true? Appreciation, witnessing the unmerited gift of grace. They're appreciating you in a whole new way. They're witnessing your rise. They're witnessing you dropping the burden and taking that leap of faith. And this is inspiring to them. They feel like making amends with you will be the key to help turn things around in their life. help turn things. So it makes me think. I want to know a little bit more. Yeah, I am going to the Light Seers. I want to see a little bit more about what's going on in their life. Like, what is it that has kind of woken this person up? Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. What is this Nine of Pentacles? 3 of Wands in reverse. I feel like this is you. I feel like you decided to, you took your power back, you focused on yourself, you're building up your prosperity, your wealth, your abundance, you're feeling really good, all on your own, independent, resourceful, and it's like you were just, it's like you're like, if I want to get anywhere where I want to be, I need to work at it. And also enjoy the process of working at it. This isn't just, going to the job and slogging away. This is passion projects and doing things that are fulfilling and aligning yourself. It's like they see you aligning yourself with your purpose and your mission or something. And through all this work, here you are, 10 of Wands again. You packed up and left. You're like, I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to go in another direction. And I think you leaving was the wake-up call for this person. It's like you were working behind the scenes. You were doing your own thing, but then but there wasn't necessarily movement in that they could gauge or that they could see. But then once you were gone, once you left the scene, they were like, oh, there was a lot more going on there with the viewer than with the collective than I thought. Because you got impatient. You stopped waiting. You stopped waiting for this person to show up because they weren't. They walked away. They chose something else. So you chose you. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at what's hidden. I'm going to use my Edgar Allan Poe tarot. What's hidden that you don't see? What's going on behind the scenes? This is so it's 6 of Crows, which is 6 of Cups. Yeah. 6 of Cups. This person is really reflecting on your time together in the past. 8 of Hearts, which is swords. Oh, they're reflecting and they're all up in their head. They're really struggling with the memories. Knight of, he's holding a heart. Knight of Swords. So they're deciding or they're thinking about, I don't know if they've decided yet. We'll find out shortly. But they're really thinking about coming toward you very quickly. They have a lot to say. I don't know that there's necessarily an apology, but they certainly want to talk about the good times. They want to reminisce. They're really up in their head about this, but it's like they feel like they need to, all this reflection, they need to talk it out with you. Yeah. So, okay, so then let's look at next actions. Go with the Tarot of Mystical Moments. What are this person's next actions? Or, yeah, I could, yeah. What are this person's next actions? The Emperor. Aries energy again. I feel like they are bossing up. They want to take control of the situation. King of Pentacles. We got Earth signs here: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Then the King of Cups in reverse. Also the female king. Now we have water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, so we have 3 characters here. So female emperor clarifying the male emperor. This person is like, I feel like a part of their reflection is recognizing where they have been severely out of balance, and they're either leaning heavily into their masculine or heavily into their feminine, and the other one has kind of degraded comes to mind. I don't know if that's the right word, but atrophied or something. And this person is they are like rallying the forces. They are getting everything that they are in the process of learning and reflecting on and learning about themselves. They want to get themselves firmly in a position of control. And this isn't like being a control freak necessarily. This is just getting all the ducks in a line, ducks in a row. And managing either people in their lives or parts of themselves that had run amok, or there's all these figures on leashes here, these little figures down here. And then this king, but what is this King of Pentacles about? 6 of Cups in reverse. I think my initial feeling was this king, did I say cups? King of Pentacles is you. This is you really building yourself up. After they left, you're like, well, yeah, because you are hardworking. You know how to put your effort in to get the payout that you want. And you are in this balanced energy. The feminine king is knows how to receive as well as take action. Has risen to a place of power and stability through action, and also is able to be be more intuitive, possibly nurturing. There's a sweetness here, a caring that you bring to the table. And this person feels a lot of heavy nostalgia. Like they can't. It's a little bit too much. It's like they can't stop thinking about the past. They can't stop thinking about you. Because you're self-made. Maybe they didn't see this about you before. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, see, this person, they squandered a new beginning with you. They pretended that they knew everything. There's that arrogance. And so they want to take control. They want to show up and be like, let me prove to you that I am actually worth your time and energy and potentially love. But what is this King of Cups in reverse? 10 of Pentacles. I feel like as much as, well, hang on. 9 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this person has a dream. They have an intention. They want to come together with you. They want long term. They want to create, maybe they want to marry you. Maybe they want to, be your business partner. Maybe that somehow they feel like their wish fulfillment is tied to some connection with you, something that has longevity, something that is, prosperous. They see your potential. They feel like they can match you, and they're saying, I'm not going to juggle anymore. I'm not going off in another direction. I'm here to stay. I'm going to focus on me. But the problem is they're skipping steps. They're skipping steps because they think that they're balancing themselves. They think they have everything to offer to you, which is why they're showing up. They're like wanting to take control, but they're missing steps somehow, and it's throwing them off kilter. And the steps have to do with their emotions. They're not I keep getting this feeling throughout this whole reading that they're doing the reflecting to a certain extent. They're starting to see, but it's not they're skipping steps, or they're missing points, or they're somehow glossing over things that that they need to help them be emotionally stable. Their emotions, that's the problem. They haven't come to terms with their own emotional pain, their own wounding. They're thinking about you. They've gone as far back as what has happened between you two and where they misstepped. But they're not taking it so far back that they're really looking at their own childhood and where these wounds came from in the first place, why they felt the need to act this way in the first place. Somehow their self-reflection isn't taking them far enough. And so they're in this emotionally unstable energy. And so they're going to come in wanting to take control, but without the emotional balance, it's gonna be funky. It's gonna be kind of weird because they haven't done the work the way you have. And you're gonna see this because you have that wisdom. You have done the work. You have really tapped into your vulnerability. You've worked through a lot of emotions. And with this person not, you're going to be like, oh, you want to control and get things, tie up loose ends, or tie up things or people that have been running amok in your life. But really, this is just all a reflection of you and what you need to do for yourself. Okay, so let's look at the outcome. Is this what I want? I don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's do the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Potential outcome here. 2 of Swords. Yeah, there's a stalemate there. 7 of Wands. Yeah, you're defensive. You're like, okay, I'm glad you feel like you want to take control, but I'm in control of myself, and you still have a lot of work to do. You need to go back in your corner, finish what you're doing. Yeah, see, Princess of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse again. Because this person is, they're not actually learning the lesson. It makes me think of little kids when they get in trouble. Sometimes you can say, like, okay, so why are you in trouble? Well, because I did this thing. Okay, and you know, what should you do about it? Well, I should say sorry. Why? Because I'm in trouble. Not because they understand that they need to make amends because they did something wrong. They just know they're in trouble and they want to get out of trouble. So it's kind of a manipulation tactic. And I feel like that, even though both emperors came out upright, I feel like they have good intentions. They haven't done the work. They're trying to fix it with you rather than really look at themselves. They need to go deeper. And you see this, and so you're like, you can go back. No thanks. And they're saying, but why? But, you know, like, I've figured things out. I can see the potential with us and growing our business or growing this relationship or, you know, whatever. Like, we're family, we're connected. This is going to be such a great wish fulfillment for me. And you're like, okay, what about me though? They're thinking about themselves and their own happiness. They're not necessarily thinking about yours and what you want. So, let me look at Forest Spirits. Bear Spirit, untamed spirit. Allow yourself to run wild and free as you explore your own fierce but gentle nature. And see, this is you. You're like, I'm still focusing on me. You're running wild and free. You have earned your freedom. You have taken back your own power, and you're not giving it away. Not to this person. I don't think you're going to give it away again because you're realizing your vulnerability is your power. Fierce but gentle nature. Yeah. Chipmunk spirit, adventure. Oh, one of my favorite words. Strike out on your own to embark on a journey of discovery and realizations. Yep. That's what you're doing. And I think you're going to be leading by example with this person. You're emulating what you want to see from them. And maybe you don't even care. You're like, if you do, if you don't, it doesn't matter. I'm focusing on me and your own discoveries and realizations. And you're very excited about this. Badger spirit, look deeper. There are secrets and hidden treasures for you to discover beneath the surface. Maybe this person has something they're hiding, some kind of secret. Maybe you intuit this. Maybe that's one of the reasons that you're like, you know, if you can't be honest with me, if you're trying to still be in this place of power, if they're used to power over others, manipulating or otherwise trying to control the situation or the narrative or whatever, you're basically sidestepping that. You're like, You don't have power over me. Maybe they did at one point, but not anymore. You learned your lesson. And so, but there's also like maybe the hidden treasures are within your own self. And that's a part of what's so exciting for you is you just keep leaning into the adventure, leaning into the excitement, leaning into the new, what feels good, following the joy, following the bliss. So let me finish with a cheeky message from Spirit. Your higher self is doing the slow clap right now. Keep going. You're doing exactly what you need to do for you. It's all about you, and that's perfect. Spirit didn't ghost you. You just keep ignoring the messages that don't confirm your bias. So if you are feeling or have been feeling like, you've been going this alone, that you've been struggling because maybe there's a part of you that, still thinks about this person or would love for this person to show up correct or whatever. It's like, well, for now, they're not going to. And so this is you kind of coming to terms with that. You say you're fine, but Spirit heard that tone. Try again. Yeah, so you're really working. You're working with your inner demons, with your inner angels, with all the parts of yourself. You're going deep, and you have humility in all of this, which is kind of a superpower for you. And it's allowing you to go deep and to eventually get the messages that Spirit is sending you. And Spirit is doing the slow clap, like you're on the right track. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah.